It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports. On
the Lakers.
7, the game.
Come on! I'm lost. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome in, all you beautiful people here in the Bay Area, nationwide, worldwide. It's the Pregame Show, Joe Spadoni, and you got me for the next hour right here on 95.7 The Game. Lakers go bye-bye. Jamal Murray, game winner, part 2 in this series as the Denver Nuggets advance to the second round of the Western Conference playoffs. Lakers and LeBron James, this is the earliest he's ever been eliminated in his playoff career. Ties for the earliest, I guess I should say, because he got bounced in round 1, but this is the shortest, right? 5 games, at least with the Suns a couple years ago. Obviously injured Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis last night doing something to his shoulder after falling onto it, whether it was dislocated, whether it was sprained, what have you. Just a brutal injury there to watch. Guy playing with one arm for like 5 straight minutes. Darvin Ham, call a timeout. God. Just the boneheadery and the foolishness at times by that Lakers team is what cost them the series. So yes, LeBron James, the earliest he has been ousted in his playoff career. That's 5 games in the first round. And again, it goes with the theme that we've been talking about. It's a turning of the tide in the NBA right now. It's the young man's game. It is. This isn't golf. You can go into your 40s and be winning majors still and competing and be like Tiger Woods. No. When you get old, the young guys take over. And LeBron's been beating Father Time for quite some time. I mean, still last night, he was incredible. He was incredible. Everyone's is faulting LeBron. Oh, see Jamal Murray dunk on his ass. It's like, great. Isn't Jamal Murray like 20 years younger than him? The fact that LeBron's getting up there to try to block it was incredible. And that's how I choose to watch games. It's not a popular take in the Bay Area where LeBron James is enemy number 1, although that could change. That could change. Warriors fans, I'm talking to you at 888-957-9570 on this beautiful Tuesday morning here in the Bay Area. Are you willing to do whatever it takes outside of Stephen Curry? So he's there. He's solidified. Everything else is on the table in regards to bringing LeBron James here in a Golden State Warriors uniform. Are you doing it? Are we bringing LeBron James to the Bay Area as a member of the Warriors organization? 888-957-9570 Warriors fans. That's what I want to ask you, because this is where it's going to be. Rumor central for LeBron James for the next, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 months, whatever it is. I mean, he's playing for Team USA. He's going to be teammates with Stephen Curry already. He's still with the All-Star game, but this is going to be actual legit worldwide competition. You're actually trying to win something that matters, which sucks because the All-Star game used to matter, but not anymore. Good morning to all of you on the Xfinity mobile text line, 888-957-9570. Call or text that number. Warriors fans, are you bringing LeBron James here? Are you doing whatever it takes to try to land him in San Francisco? You can also hit me up on Twitch or YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Go ahead and search 95.7 The Game, like and subscribe. We're streaming all day long right there, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. through 7 p.m., starting your day with Spadoni, ending it with the Grandy man, Mark Grandy, who has the best of the game after Willard and Dibbs. Had a hell of a guest lineup yesterday. Specifically one and one man only. Brian Baldinger, who is just the best. Whole hour, 7:30 through 8:30 with Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. You can find all of that on our free Odyssey app. Download that. Take it wherever you need to go in regards to Warriors content, Niners, Giants. Shout out Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys. They're going to be getting a new pod here shortly, I would think. Because the Giants have just won 2 series in a row. Maybe they talk about Mike Yastrzemski. Maybe, just maybe. Giants in Boston, starting today. 4 o'clock, 4:10, I should be more specific. First pitch there. Mike Yastrzemski, is he going to do it again? Hit one over the monster? Oh, that'd be an opposite field home run for him. Maybe he get one, sneaks through that pesky pole, right? That's always so cool, though. His grandfather, Carl Yastrzemski, obviously being a legend, one of the greatest players in the history of the sport, one of the greatest Red Sox of all time, and to be able to go there as a grandson, like that's what sports is all about. It's what baseball is all about. Speaking of baseball, I mean, we're on the topic. I mean, we've got to play the sound. I mean, it's another one. The Jolly Roger is sinking in the bay. Jack London Square. They tried to pillage. They tried to shoot those cannonballs, Sam Lubman. They just couldn't. They didn't realize that Joe Boyle, Captain Joe Boyle, in the Coliseum was there.
I lost. I'm out.
A's. Get another win. Look at them. Hey, they've won 4 of their last 5. They're getting hot. 888-957-9570. They're fun to watch this year. That is honestly a step above from what I watched last year, which was just disappointment, distress, sadness, depression, all wrapped up into one. If it was a baseball team, it would be your 2023 Oakland A's. This year, you got some players to be excited about. You do. After that whole debacle of Ruiz starting the year in AAA, bring him back. Got Mason Miller, Urseg. You got Langoliers hitting some timely hitting yesterday. You got some dudes, Tyler Nevin. Not mad at it. I'm not. Again, I'll talk about the A's. Still got love for them. Even though they don't got love for me, I got love for them. And that is what we call a broken relationship. But a lot of relationships are like that. You never stop loving your siblings. Even if they're mad at you or something like that, they're family. Never stop. I can't quit the A's, no matter how hard I try. They're always just going to be a part of me. Just like a lot of you A's fans that are listening right now. They'll always be a part of you. You want to try to distance yourself, and that's fine. If John Fisher sells the team, that would be awesome. Don't think that's happening. Although, I did just see, I think he is selling us like a majority of the team, is he not? Maybe. $500 million investor out of nowhere is coming in to help the A's in their, let's just say, financial problems in Las Vegas. Problems, plan, lack thereof, whatever you want to use. So John Fisher getting some help from someone who I'm sure would try to take over the team, because anyone but John Fisher could probably make that thing, profitable. From the Xfinity Mobile text line, 925, the dude needs a way better nickname than Yaz. I mean, that's just what it is. What do you want to call him? The Polish Hammer? That's already taken. That's Sebastian Janikowski. All right. What do you want? We need a new nickname for Yaz? I think we're overthinking it. When you have that many consonants in your last name, we're just going to go Yaz. All right. As I see Sam Hartman running across my television screen right now on NFL Network, might be the most handsome man to ever play in the National Football League. And I'm including Jimmy Garoppolo there. Guy's a model. What's he doing there? 925, not 5, not 6, not 7. Yeah.
Not 5, not 6, not 7.
Oh, it was 5 this time. 5 games out for LeBron James. 925. The phrase you're looking for is the changing of the guard. Yeah, I've used a lot of different phrases in regards to what's happening right now in the National Basketball Association and the youth movement. We've been talking about it all season long. A changing of the guard, you can say that. Out with the old, in with the new is what Bonte said. A turning of the tide. Times they are a change. Whatever you want to say. It doesn't really matter. Fact of the matter is, NBA is a young man's game, and the young man's taking over. Anthony Edwards, Jamal Murray last night, what the Celtics have been doing with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, just tapping that ass in the Eastern Conference. You can look at guys and teams in the East too. Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, they've been putting on some shows here as of late in that first round against the Cleveland Cavaliers. You can go Luka Doncic. I mean, the list goes on and on. And then if you're the Golden State Warriors and you're just sitting back and looking, right? You're wondering, what can I do to compete with the likes of Minnesota, Oklahoma City, and Denver? Well, I think LeBron James could help that. How much, though? That's the thing. In years past, if I was getting a 34, 33-year-old LeBron James, yeah, I think that makes us title contenders. If you get LeBron James on this team, by the time it's New Year's Eve, he's 40. And you already got an aging Stephen Curry, who will be 37, an aging Draymond Green. I don't know what you do with Chris Paul, Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, but I'm assuming if you're bringing in LeBron James, he doesn't want to have less money. I mean, I would assume he'd want that $50 million that he's, if he opts into his player option, I should say, would be getting this year with the Lakers. Is that enough? I mean, you got some youth there. You got Kuminga, you got Trace Jackson Davis, Pajemski. They're nice players. Is that enough in the West? Because I'm looking at this past series with the Denver Nuggets and Los Angeles Lakers. And although it took 5 games, and we're going to look back and say, oh, Nuggets handled that team. Lakers led for about 75% of that series. And why most of the games were close outside of game 1 was because of the lack of depth for Denver. Depth is key in the playoffs. I know we like to say, like, oh, rotations get shorter, stuff like that. They do, but each series has a unique matchup, potentially. Like we always go back to this past season, right? Oh, it's Trace Jackson Davis. You know, he's taking over for Kevon. Well, Kevon Looney got a lot of run in that play-in game against the Kings. Why? It was a better matchup against Sabonis last year in the playoffs. And Sabonis is a crafty veteran who is good and will exploit a rookie in Trace Jackson Davis, which he was doing early. So each series from round 1, 2, all the way up to the Western Conference and into the finals has its own unique flair and flavor. And it's up to you to decide the ins and outs. That's where coaching is important. That's where a guy like Darvin Ham, be nice this morning, is in over his head against a guy like Mike Malone. Oh, sorry, Michael. Excuse me. Don't call him Mike. He doesn't like that. And that's why I think it's so funny where Warriors fans want to, crucify Steve Kerr, put him to the stake, roast him over a spit. Like, Warriors fans don't know how good they have it when it comes to Steve Kerr as their head coach. They just don't. And I think most of the fans aren't really fans of the team that go after Kerr. They're more of a certain individual's fan base. A certain stan, I think that's the phrase people use now, in regards to Stephen Curry. And no, Steve Kerr's not going anywhere. And you don't want him to leave because the Lakers would be on the call right now for him. The San Antonio Spurs would be on line 1 for him. I can go down the list of teams outside of the Miami Heat that would want Steve Kerr as their head coach. And again, Steve Kerr coaching LeBron James this summer. Team USA. Is that another little layer to this? Do you want LeBron here or not, Warriors fans? That's what I'm asking. 888-957-9570. Depth is important. What I was basically getting at in that first round series. In the Nuggets' lack of depth right now, and their heavy reliance on their starting rotation of Jokic, KCP, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and you can go Aaron Gordon. That basically closing rotation. It's a lot of minutes on there, a lot of wear and tear. Murray's dealing with the calf strain, right now. Didn't really look like it late in that game, but they're a calf injury away from it being night-night. And you can say that for a lot of teams. I mean, they're the second best player on the team. I get it. But I look at a team like Minnesota, and I watch that series. Hey, Minnesota's not scared of Denver. Minnesota could win this series against them. Would I bet on it? No. Would I be shocked? No. Minnesota's here. Anthony Edwards has no fear. And that's really the matchup I'm interested in. KCP going at Anthony Edwards, right? The lack of scoring at times from Minnesota, we saw with this Lakers series. If you're not getting the others involved, some role players, some Jaden McDaniels shots, right?
You know, they got KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels.
Thank you. Ant-Man. It's a great name, by the way. We were roasting Yaz's nickname. Ant-Man's just, it's perfect. If you've ever had a brother named Anthony, call him Ant all the time. Tony. He's not a Tony Edwards kind of a guy. Tony Edwards is a guy that sings Frank Sinatra music at 1 a.m. in Queens. That's Tony Edwards. He does some Billy Joel karaoke. Strictly 80s Joel? No one wants that. From the Xfinity mobile text line. I kind of like this nickname, though. Not in the West, Joe Speedo. Hey, only during beach season, baby. I used to rock the Speedo, though. Shout out water polo. Elite tan back in high school. A 33-year-old LeBron James could have truffle shuffle to the Eastern Conference easy. I don't know what you're trying to say, 925. I don't know what you're trying to say. 415, give me Braun, Bronny, Ricky, Bobby, and Mike. I don't care which girl you like. Dub's going to draft Bronny in the second round, and the deal will be sealed. Well, that's what the reports said in regards to the Lakers. Bonta Hill sent it to the thread. I believe it's Shams Charania and Jovan Buha, who covers the Lakers for The Athletic, writing this together. That let me get it out. Perfect. Here we go. The Lakers are open to drafting Bronny James this June to help fulfill Bronny James's dream of playing with his son. Team sources tell Shams Charania, Sam Amick, and Jovan Buha of The Athletic. I don't know if the Warriors would do something like that, but if I'm the Lakers, I do it. Absolutely. What do you got to lose? Oh, you're going to waste a second-round pick? Second-round picks are busts half the time. More than half. I mean, I need the percentage of how many second-round picks in the NBA actually work out. Trace Jackson Davis, great. That's one. Draymond Green, great. Jokic, okay. Those are exceptions to the rule. Those guys are usually G League lifers, and Bronny James might be. But if I'm the Lakers, and I'm trying to have LeBron James end his career in a Lakers uniform, and that means something to me as an organization, absolutely I'm doing that. Absolutely. He's almost 40 years old. I don't know how long he has left in this league. He's an injury away from it being all over. Why not? What do they got to lose? No, seriously. What is the downside of the Lakers drafting Bronny James in order to lure LeBron back to the Lakers? The only argument I keep saying is, I have you no shame, Lakers. What? Are we acting like this upcoming class in the NCAA or the world? I know we're going global now, or G League, whoever the hell top prospect it is. I couldn't even tell you. From everything I've read and all the pundits, we were just doing the NFL draft. Now we're going to look at the NBA draft. It's not a very good class. The 2024 NBA draft class is not very good. So yeah, take a chance on Bronny. If I'm the Lakers, from the Warriors, no. No. My picks are actually going to matter and might play. Or they could be used in a trade. Again, I'm just asking the question. 888-957-9570. Nuggets beat the Lakers 108-106. Jamal Murray, game winner. Taurean Prince heaving up a three at half court. Might have been fouled. That goes nowhere. And the Lakers, for the second straight year, are defeated by the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs. The shortest playoff outing of LeBron James's career. And it was 5 games in the first round. Guy's 39 years old. It's incredible. Now, there's been times he's missed the playoffs. His team's missed the playoffs. LeBron basically due to injury or due to having Russell Westbrook on your team. But LeBron, his season's over. The Lakers' season's over. And the speculation's going to begin. And I'm just asking the question to Warriors fans, if they're willing to do whatever it takes outside of doing anything with Steph Curry to bring LeBron James over to the Warriors. Because you can't pay everyone. LeBron's going to command a bag. And are you willing to part with certain players to do that? Whether that's an Andrew Wiggins, whether that's a Jonathan Kuminga, whether that's Klay Thompson. See, I don't think that makes you a contender in the West. Does it improve your team? Is it a net positive? It is. But again, like I've been saying, the depth needs to be there to compete for a title. The strength in numbers, we kind of make fun of that. Like when the, Pajemskis and Trace Jackson Davises are playing, well, strength in numbers. No, that was a real thing when the Warriors won their championship in this first, iteration of this dynasty of the last decade. It was strength in numbers. It was guys like Mo Spates, Leandro Barbosa. Well, David Lee contributed at times. Guys like that. The Warriors, I don't believe, are a move away from being a Western Conference contender. Just like I don't think the Lakers are a move away. Or the Suns. See, this is the thing. All these teams up in the West, the top three teams right now that were the best all season long. The Thunder, the Lakers, and the Timberwolves. They have their guys locked up, and they got young guys on rookie deals. So they're going to be doing this for a while. Those older teams, those franchises, the Suns, the Lakers, the Warriors, they're at a disadvantage right now. They're not getting any younger. At least their stars aren't. And yes, do super teams still work? Not in the conventional sense, not when they're all old. Like they're fading stars. When they were they're at their supernova peak, right? I guess a supernova happens when the star's dying. I don't really know. I'm not an astronomer, all right? I took one class. Got like a B- in it, I think. It was just funny when the teacher got mad because all the students would say Uranus and not Uranus. No one's calling it that, teach. Come on. Set yourself up there. But I don't know if there's a move away for the Warriors right now. But LeBron James sure would be exciting. That's a fact. And as a guy who covers the team here locally, has to talk about him night in and night out. I guess you say morning in, morning out, but it's always dark when I'm talking to you people. And good morning to all you people on the roadways. Drive safe. If you have a take, pull over and text it. Don't text and drive. It's silly. Always hands-free. But I'm basically getting at here is I would love LeBron James in a Golden State Warriors uniform. Just for the content. I think all of us secretly would. And those that don't are just, they're fooling themselves. The content would be unbelievable. And if this is the last dance for the Warriors, if it's all over, if the last dance is even passed, and this is kind of the post-retirement era of Golden State, why not? Lean into it. I think the problem is for a lot of Warriors fans, and let me know, Warriors fans, 888-957-9570. I don't want to have to root for LeBron James if it means we're not even winning a title. Then at that point, it's just what the hell? I think that's kind of where a lot of Warriors fans are at. And if I'm speaking out of turn here, please let me know. But if you're rooting for LeBron, you should be rooting for titles. I just don't know if that player, if LeBron is the player still to be doing that and to be having those sort of aspirations. Steph and LeBron just isn't going to cut it. Just like AD and LeBron isn't going to cut it. You need guys and pieces and young pieces around them to elevate. And AD and LeBron were spectacular in this series. They were. We give them a lot of flack here in the Bay. Mr. Glass and LaFlop. I think those are the nicknames I saw the most on the Xfinity mobile text line. They were incredible in this series. And they still lost in 5. It's not going to be easy for these teams to claw back in to the Western Conference semis or finals. 888-957-9570. So what's the remedy? Is it LeBron James? Do these all... I know she asked me about this. Do we need to go expendables? Just go LeBron, Steph, KD, AD. I don't even know how that works money-wise. It probably doesn't. That's like $500 trillion in the tax and the luxury tax, whatever. Aprons you want to talk about. But is that what we're talking about? Just tripling down on something that just didn't work this past season? I don't know. We'll see. Lakers, 106. Denver Nuggets, 108. Bye-bye LeBron. Bye-bye AD. Bye-bye Darvin Ham. We shall see. It's bye-bye to this first segment, though. We're going to break. Come on back. More of your thoughts. I want to get into what Brian Baldinger had to say yesterday as well, but we'll continue to take your thoughts on the Lakers getting ousted. LeBron James. Is that his final game of his Laker career? And do you want him in a Golden State Warriors uniform? 888-957-9570. More of your calls and texts as the pregame show rolls on with Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes...
Pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Man, I thought I was feeling pretty confident with that, but all right.
Well, the Lakers thought they were confident heading into this series. If you wanted to catch the Nuggets, I said catch them early. They were vulnerable. They were. It's not vulnerable enough. As the Nuggets oust the Lakers in 5 in the first round, they advance to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's going to be fun. Always a fun game, as one might say.
It's always a fun game.
I know that's a guy that would love LeBron to be in a Lakers. Check that. Warriors uniform. Has LeBron James played his last game in a Lakers uniform, though? That's the question. 888-957-9570. And if that's the case, do you want him in a Golden State Warriors uniform? Warriors fans? Are y'all in on that? Like the sound of that? LeBron James being a Golden State Warrior? I've had this conspiracy theory, and I'm a good... I'll listen to some conspiracy theories. For the most part, they're all a bunch of nonsense. But this is one I was kind of thinking about. If LeBron James really cares that much about his image, wants to be universally liked by a lot of people, not that I'm saying he does, but let's just, for the sake of argument, say that's what he wants. He wants to be liked by a lot of these fan bases, right? Well, he's conquered a couple of them. The Cleveland fan base that hated him when he left at first, he's came back and, won a championship there. Cleveland, this is for you, 2016. We all remember it very well. So he rectified the wrongs there, and he's loved there. Miami, I know things kind of got soured with Spoelstra and him or whatever, what have you. Pat Riley picking Spoelstra and saying kick rocks to LeBron. He goes back to Cleveland. But I still think Miami deep down has love for LeBron James. He's an all-time Heat legend. He's not going to be as loved as Dwayne Wade, but he is the best player in the history of that franchise. Then you look at the Lakers. That was a franchise that could not stand LeBron. Why? Because there's LeBron-Kobe feud. Comes over, brings Anthony Davis. They won a title. Oh, it was a bubble chip. And then they're cool with him. So that's a couple major fan bases there. Now, Boston's always going to hate him. He's not going to the Celtics. The only one out there, the one fan base that is still getting after LeBron, it's not Boston. It's no longer Cavs fans. It's not Miami Heat fans. It's not Laker fans. It's not Kobe fans. It's Warrior fans. So he has something to... He could do something crazy here. Side with the Warriors and force Warriors fans, just like they did with Chris Paul this past year, to root for LeBron and become LeBron fans. It could be like that Washington Wizards Michael Jordan era, where those kids that were Wizards fans, like, oh, MJ was my favorite Wizard. Jerry Rice was my favorite Raider. Jerry Rice was a baller on the Raiders, by the way. I do hate when people say, oh, I can't believe he wasn't a Niner his whole career. Ugh, he had to go and taint it and be with the Raiders and stuff like that. It's like, but he was actually good with the Raiders. He's legit, like 39 years old, 40 years old, 1,200-yard seasons. They're going to team to the Super Bowl. Tim Brown, touchdown Timmy Brown. It's unreal. I'm having the flashbacks of when Chris Paul was traded to the Warriors last year, and the anger and frustration. I don't think it would be the same level if it was LeBron, because LeBron is just a couple tiers higher than Chris Paul, both on the hatred scale, but also on the just terms of a player. LeBron James is quite possibly the greatest player in the history of the game, and you'd be adding that with a guy in Steph Curry who's already top 10 players solidified there in the history of the game, greatest shooter in the history of the game, changed the game, we all like to say. And pairing those two up would be incredible. Steph's work off the ball, LeBron being ball dominant at times, but being one of the greatest passers we've ever seen. It would be must see, must watch. Until it isn't. Until we're sitting here and they're bouncing the first round. And then we all say, oh, that was fun. But it's back to reality. And the reality is these teams in the bottom of the West just aren't good enough to compete with the teams at the top, as it should be. Like maybe we are fooling ourselves all year long to think that regular season doesn't quote unquote matter. But it turns out it kind of does. And it told us everything we needed to know. For as much as we like to say the regular season doesn't matter and it's, make me up in the playoffs. It's not like the NFL, all the games. It's not the NFL. But the top teams told you who they were all season long by how they acted in the regular season. The Nuggets conducted themselves like a champion should do, like a defending champion does. And that was go out there and ball out. The Minnesota Timberwolves took another leap. They got out of the first round after losing to the Nuggets in the first round last year and improving. They've taken another step. The Oklahoma City Thunder. What did we all say about the Oklahoma City Thunder this year? What did we all say? Oh, they're getting bounced in the first round. That's upset written all over it. What happened? They just destroyed the New Orleans Pelicans, albeit without Zion Williamson. But the amount of Warriors fans, the amount of Lakers fans, Suns fans, if we get the Thunder in the first round, we're winning that series, and then no one wants to mess with us. Really? Were the Warriors beating that Thunder team? Seriously. Now, could it have gone 6 games, 7 games? Possibly. Still taking the Thunder. If I had to bet on it, I'm taking the Thunder over the Lakers. Taking them over the Suns. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is an MVP candidate. Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year candidate. Lou Dort, first team all defense. Josh Giddey, one of the great young point guards we have in this game. They're loaded. They don't know any better. They don't fear LeBron and Steph and KD. And they grew up idolizing them. Now they're putting them in the coffin and closing the door and nailing it shut. Throwing in the dirt. That's what they're doing. That's what those guys are doing. That's what Anthony Edwards are doing. That's what Nikola Jokic is doing. Nikola Jokic, by the way, he does it and then doesn't even care about it, which is somehow even more infuriating if you're an opposing fan. Just the lackadaisical nature in which he plays, which he passes the ball, so carefree, so nonchalant. Guys just huffing and puffing down the court. The most unathletic looking body you've seen in a 7-footer. And he's always the best player on the court. And he's just dominating you. And he'd rather be hanging out with his horses. Oh, it's gotta piss you off. He's that damn good. He's that damn good. And then Jamal Murray, who might be the most underrated player, if that's even possible, after coming off a championship year in which you were the second best player on a championship team, still somehow underrated. He might be the best clutch shooter in the game right now. He just might be. He's that guy. Like it's what Jimmy Butler was in the East, Jamal Murray is in the West right now. Big shot after big shot after big shot. When he's not playing his best game, something clicks in the fourth. And that's what's special about playoff players. Like, we think about here in the Bay, Game 6 Clay will live on forever. We'll always go back to that. And I know this past play-in game where he was 0 for 10, didn't make a shot, and it was horrible. That's going to, unfortunately, be a slight stain in his career for a lot of Warriors fans. But I'd urge you to go back to, playoff games that actually mattered. Not like this play-in game this past year. In comparison, it did not matter. I understand for potentially the future of this team, it might have some bearing, but for the sake of this argument, we're always going to go back to Game 6 Clay and what it means. It's the playoff performances that we look back on and remember. Not what you did in the regular season against the Charlotte Hornets. What you did to knock out the Lakers in consecutive years. How good does that have to feel for the Denver Nuggets fan base who were always looking up to the Lakers? Always. My entire life. The Melo Lakers, the J.R. Smith ones with George Karl, right? Birdman was there. They pushed him in the Western Conference Finals. They pushed him at times. They could never get over that hump, though. Kobe, Powell, Bynum, all those dudes. Lamar Odom, Sasha Vujacic, Shannon Brown, Jordan Farmar. You can go on. One more break. Going to come back. More of your calls, more of your texts. Do you want LeBron on the Warriors? Did we just witness LeBron James's last game as a Laker as the Nuggets knocked them out of the playoffs? The shortest playoff outing of LeBron James's career, getting knocked out in 5 games in the first round. It's pretty incredible for the guy being 39 years old. You want to pair him with another old man and Steph Curry? It's for you to decide. On the pregame show, Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Life doesn't stop when the economy is uncertain. The market might not care you have a wedding to plan or a kid to put through school. And inflation doesn't know you've got a family to feed. But Bank of America does, and is here to help with digital tools to help you save and local experts in the Bay Area.
Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
At Odyssey, to create a diverse and inclusive workforce, we encourage local organizations to refer qualified applicants. Simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com to be notified of all open positions, and we invite our listeners to visit odyssey.com/careers to view a listing of all job openings.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
We are live on Twitch and YouTube, and also the app formerly called Twitter. You can see me right now. I just retweeted it. Or reposted it. I hate the X, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't care what you call it, people. Just follow me at Spadoni_Joe on there. You can also hit me up at 888-957-9570. Call or text the Xfinity mobile text line. You got me for one more segment before I hand it off to Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. Brian Baldinger joined them yesterday for a very in-depth conversation about the 49ers draft picks, their 2024 class, and the NFC as a whole right now. There was an Ask Baldy Anything segment. Very impressed with the Morning Roast callers. They brought their A game. So very in-depth analysis from our guy, our 95.7 The Game NFL insider, Brian Baldinger. Find that entire interview on either the Odyssey app, download that bad boy, favorite it, it is free, or you can search on YouTube and we post it there. Like, subscribe, ring that bell. We appreciate you people. All right, Lakers, night-night, they're done. They join Suns, they join Warriors, the Kings, all the teams that have been eliminated. And add them to the list of teams that are doing some soul searching right now to try to claw back into this deep gauntlet of young stars in the West. And the future looks bright for the Wolves, Thunder, and the Nuggets. The future for the Suns, the Lakers, the Warriors, murky at best. So what do you do if you're those teams? Do you try to get older? Do you double down on the stars, the older, the aging stars? Do you double down on that? Like, are you watching what I'm watching right now in the East and West? That's not working. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it's not going to work. It's not. LeBron James is not going to be some cure-all for any of these teams that are going after. Not even the Lakers, if they bring him back. If they do try to appease him, bringing Bronny James in and drafting him, which is reportedly a possibility via The Athletic, that the Lakers will indeed potentially draft Bronny James in hopes of LeBron James staying in a Laker uniform. You think that's desperate? It is. Because the Lakers are desperate. These teams are desperate. The Warriors are desperate. The Suns. You have to have a sense of urgency. You have to. Like, these aren't the Hornets. These aren't the Wizards. Right? These aren't bad teams. These are teams that are play-in/playoff teams with top 10/15 players in the history of the game that are seeing their own mortality before their eyes. And that is a tough thing to do. So do we expect them to roll over? No. But this is where the general managers and the owners have to get creative. And I'm looking at Joe Lacob. I'm looking at Mike Dunleavy. I'm looking at Rob Pelinka down in LA, Jeannie Buss. What are these teams going to do this offseason? I am fascinated to see how things play out because there are a lot of disappointments in both conferences right now. Mentioned the West, but there's some players on the East too that cannot be very happy. Specifically, one Greek freak named Giannis Antetokounmpo and Dame Time Lillard, who are probably going to get ousted against the Pacers due to injury, which sucks. So maybe if you're the Bucks, you say, hey, we were injured at the wrong time. It is what it is. Let's, run it back. It's another year older of Damian Lillard. Chris Middleton, is his contract up? The guy's been there forever. His knees are kind of shot at this point. Brooke Lopez. It's an old team. And look at the top dog in the East. The Celtics are young, big, athletic. Yeah, they got Horford. They got Porzingis, who got hurt yesterday. That sucks. It's another thing that I hate seeing right now is all the injuries. God, really has just not totally ruined the fun for me watching the playoffs, but has taken a certain chunk out of it. Like even AD last night, landing on that shoulder, it looked painful. Guy was dangling his arm. He's playing left-handed. And Darvin Ham just, I got a lollipop in my mouth. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? Well, it's going to take 1,000,000 if you don't call a timeout, buddy. Good God. Speaking of a guy who's going to get fired, if he comes back, you can kiss LeBron goodbye. I mean, that is something I know for a fact. Bring Darvin Ham back if I'm LeBron. No. I'm going to go play for Steve Kerr. I'm already going to play for this summer. And Team USA, by the way, thank God they got Anthony Edwards and some of these other young guys, because I don't know from what I've seen from the grizzled vets if that's enough to beat the likes of a Serbia or a France or some of these teams you're going to face here in a couple months in Paris. Man, it's a fun time in basketball, though. I'll say that. There is nothing short of drama happening in this sport, and that's what we've come to expect. Like, we know the NFL's dominating the offseason because we're still talking about the draft. Again, Brian Baldinger joined the guys yesterday. We can't get enough of it. NFL is still king, and we're going to have the schedule release maybe next week, maybe the week after that. And that's going to be a topic in and of itself. Just the schedule, which is always funny to me because we try to project, I think if they win this stretch, if they win that stretch, I'm looking at this. Oh, man, they got 2 road games. Oh, they got an early start time there. Maybe they stay out. Oh, in West Virginia, wherever the hell they stay, the Greenbrier. Okay. We don't know what these teams are going to look like next year. Did anyone have Aaron Rodgers playing like 2 minutes, having a cup of coffee, then being out for the year? No. You can't predict anything. But it's fun. We're going to try to. We can't get enough of it. We just can't get enough of it. And for the NBA, it's the same thing. Is this player going that way? Is this player going this way? In a way, it is refreshing to have the top teams be rewarded for just smart drafting and smart team development. Something that I think the Warriors, as we take a step back here, the Warriors did do it the right way. But history does not look kindly on them for some reason, which is so dumb to me because it was Kevin Durant that wanted to come over there. Yes, I'm going to take the best player in the sport if he wants to come on my team. Yes. And LeBron James, he still might be a top 10 player in the league right now. No, he is. I know that. Top 5 might be a stretch. Top 10, absolutely. He might be first team All-NBA, though, which is just a testament to him. And yes, bringing him would help, but it's not the same as Kevin Durant coming. Everyone's older. The depth isn't there. That was possibly the greatest team in the history of the sport. Again, would be box office to see LeBron and Steph. Not saying it wouldn't be. And it's not going to be enough. Got to do more. And again, it's refreshing to see teams like Denver, teams like Minnesota, teams like the Thunder, the Celtics, smart drafting, smart team building, getting rewarded, and then the mercenary teams, as we call them, you know what? Getting ousted early on. It feels like a little, I'm not going to say justice, that's strong. But it's just nice to see. Refreshing. I think that's the word I'm going to use. Refreshing. From the Xfinity Mobile text line, and by the way, we are streaming on the app formerly called Twitter, X. We're streaming there. You can find me there. You can see this shirt I'm wearing. Shout out to Philippines, baby. Shout out to PI, man. Shout out all my Filipinos and Filipinas out there checking in, 888-957-9570. Mother-in-law from the Philippines. I think the last time she went there, she grabbed me this shirt. I think I'm going to be visiting there next year. Might be doing a big travel plan. See all the Mrs. family all the way in the Philippines, stuff like that. That'll be fun. My best friend texted me yesterday. He's like, yeah, man, I'm getting married October 12th. He's been with his partner now for a while, but they're finally tying the knot. They have 2 kids. They've been together forever. But yeah, October 12th, you're my best man. Wedding in Kauai. I'm there. Big Boss Man, if you're listening, October 12th, will not be here. God, it's a little short notice for the bachelor party, though, right? Now, we'll figure it out. Got summertime coming. You go to Vegas or something. Whatever he wants to do. He's a father of 2, but man, got to get out. Got to get out of the house, man. Especially, it's getting hot in the East Bay. It's getting warm. It's getting toasty. I can leave my window open at night. That's my line of demarcation. When I can turn the heater off finally, leave the window on at night, that's when summer's approaching. And it's going to get a little nice here in the East Bay in Oakland. Not the deep East Bay where it gets like 90 degrees. That's too much. 75, 76, 78. I could hang with that. 415. Dubs not winning the chip with the core 3. Might as well get Braun and Bronny to be box office. I'm not mad at it. Again, from a host perspective, yes, I am all in on LeBron James to the Golden State Warriors because I get to talk about LeBron and Steph and them playing together, and that's freaking awesome. Now, are they going to win a championship? I don't know about that. Be fun. Would be fun, though. Again, chaos, as Littlefinger said, is a ladder. And for the media, we do love chaos. Michael Penix, the Atlanta Falcons, that's chaos. We're still talking about it. We're going to be talking about it all offseason. That is what we like. I still can't believe they did that. Oh, my God. Still can't believe it. Oh, and then Shasky talking to me yesterday. He's like, hey, man, Spadoni, should the Raiders go after Kirk Cousins? Should they have not spent all that money on Christian Wilkins? I was like, yeah. I'd rather go in the year with Aiden O'Connell. The same player. Is Kirk Cousins really going to get me out of bed for the Raiders? By the way, they signed Michael Gallup to like a 1-year, $3 million deal. Not mad at that. That's some good depth right there at receiver. You already got Bowers, you got Michael Mayer, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Michael Gallup now. It's a fun offense. It's a fun offense. And then I see all the comments. Yeah, who's throwing it to him? Well, that'd be Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. Good luck. They're not scrubs, but when you have Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert in your vision, yeah, it's a little tough. Again, the AFC is a gauntlet. The boys were talking with Baldy yesterday about the NFC, and it's coming. The young guys, we're talking about the East and the young and the West and the NBA, the young guys coming up at NFC. We'll see with Caleb Williams. Let's see with Jaden Daniels. Let's see if Jordan Love takes another step. Do the Lions take a step back? Or do they get to a Super Bowl? What does it look like for Brock Purdy? Buff Brock. He's back, baby. How is he going to improve on his year? I know Shasky was talking yesterday. He thinks Brock's going to show like huge improvements. I was like, where? How? It was damn near perfect last year. Literally had almost perfect games for a quarterback. Perfect passer ratings galore. How can he improve? That's what I want to know. You can improve that SpongeBob laugh. Do you know what needs no improvement, though? Other than the pregame show, of course. It's Bonta Hill and Joe Shasky. They're coming up next, right here on 95.7 The Game. You have a good morning, everybody.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Hey, it's Willard for La Garza Summer Camps. This is a great option for your kids this summer. My son Jude did it last summer, absolutely loved it. Tons of fun with all kinds of options. You can pick specific sports. You can do all sports, cooking, science. They can go in a